Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about these people. All right, y'all. So remember, I think it was like last week, we were talking about Chance the Rapper. He was in Jamaica. I think it was Jamaica. And I think he was celebrating his 30th. And there's a video that was making its rounds, and it was a video of him dancing on a woman. I'm not playing the video just because, even though it was not necessary, it wasn't like really a lot to me because of the dancing, because the woman wasn't really fully clothed. I'm not playing that on my channel because I'm not playing with YouTube like that. But I will put the link of the article in the description box, and you can watch it all day long on your phone. Okay. But there was a video of a woman and Chance, and they were just dancing, right? It started a debate online on whether or not it was deemed as disrespectful on Chance's part to be out there dancing on pretty much a semi-nude woman. From what I understand, when it comes to like, and I think they have those festivals over here too, right? I know they have it in Miami because I've seen the pictures. I don't know if it gains as much attention or if they're as popular as the ones that I've seen, like that happened in Canada. Because one of my best friends, he went to one in Canada last year. Remember the Real Housewives of Atlanta? They went to one too. I think it was probably the same one. Or I think where's Rihanna from? Not I was about to say Benihana. Girl, where's she from? Where is that girl from? Not Benihana, girl. I'm hungry. Oh, where is that lady from? Barbados. Yeah, right, Jamaica. You know. So I don't know if the ones that are, that happen over here are as popular as the ones that happen, in other places. But I have heard of them, occurring like here and there. I think they have one in Atlanta too. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I know they have one in Miami. So anyways, he was over there dancing on the lady. It was carnival. Is it called carnival or carnival? And they were just, having a good time. Again, from what I understand, it's not that big of a deal for, the women to be dressed the way that they're dressed, which is pretty much almost naked. It's not that big of a deal for the men to be pretty much naked. They have on Speedos, short shorts, feathers, tennis shoes, and they just having a good time. Well, again, people were having the conversation of whether or not it was disrespectful. I had just come to the conclusion that, listen, if the wife don't care, then girl, quiet as it's kept. Ain't nobody else got nothing else to say about it. I also asked the question whether or not would she be able to be out there and do what he was doing. Would she be able to go out, you know, and be half naked and dance on a man and throw it back on the man? And we're not gonna sit here and I'm not a square. Sometimes I might be, but I'm not a square. But we're not gonna sit here and act like, even if it is a part of the culture, right? That girl, the way that some of the girls and boys be dancing, girl, is almost, girl, 2 seconds away from girl banging on the dance floor. So we're not gonna sit here and act like, girl, we're not gonna sit here and act like that, y'all. Um, but yeah, again, if she didn't care, then it's kind of like, girl, at the end of the day, nobody really has anything to say. Now, we don't know if she cares, but girl, she might, because Miss Thing came out and she said this. This is what she had on her Instagram, and it's still on her Instagram because I just went to her Instagram about 5 minutes ago. Okay, so it's still there. So this is what she put, and this is I think this was a poem. I don't know if this is a poem or something that Dr. Maya Angelou had said, but nonetheless, it's not exactly her. It's not her words. The words are coming from the late great Dr. Maya. All right, so this is what she posted. Most people, this is some of what she posted. This is a highlighted part. Most people don't grow up. It's too DAMN difficult. What happens is most people get older. That's the truth of it. They honor their credit cards, they find parking spaces, they marry, they have the nerve to have children, but they don't grow up. Not really, they get older. But to grow up costs the earth. It means you take responsibility for the time you take up, for the space you occupy. It's serious business. And you find out what costs us to love and not to lose, to dare and to fail, and not to lose, to dare and not to fail, and maybe even more to succeed. She also put in her story, of course this is gone, but she had put in her story, and the neighborhood talk had caught this. Wherever I go, grace will beat me to it, meet me in it, turn it around, and make it a miracle. So I don't know. I don't know if Miss Kirsten, what's her name? Kirsten? I don't know if Miss Kirsten was, letting the girls and boys know that she wasn't here for it and she's upset. I would assume, but I'm a little messy. I would assume that this was her way of acknowledging what Chance had did, and I don't think that she was too happy about it. Can we just be honest, y'all? It don't matter how much you may be in love. It don't matter how much you may swear up and down you trust your man or your woman. If y'all really are not I'm talking about on the same exact page when it comes to stuff like this can be embarrassing. I don't care how much you say you trust your man, how much you love your man. That don't have nothing to do. You can trust your man not to, okay, I don't think my man had sex with her. But girl, that don't have nothing to do with that act not being embarrassing. You see what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is, the same way, I think I'm just of the mindset, this is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm just of the mindset, if you don't want it done to you, then don't do it to her or him. So Chance, if you don't want Kirsten or Kristen, whatever her name is, Miss Chance the rapper, out there throwing it back on Mendingo, then you shouldn't be letting Big Booty Keisha throw it back on you. Because if she did that and the video started making its rounds around the internet, I'm sure, like most men, they would have a heart attack and a stroke, girl, of aneurysm all at the same time. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you own some, girl, I don't care. That don't bother me. I knew he was dancing with her because I was the one who was recording it. Hello? Then, girl, it's all fine and dandy. But for me, clearly she's bothered for her to come out with this statement after this video of her husband was on the internet. I could see it being disrespectful. I can. I know for some people it's like, oh, it's just dancing. Yeah, it's just dancing. But at the end of the day, I think that I just want people to start being aware of the embarrassment that they can cause their partners. I remember I was having a conversation with some family members one time. And like I said, it don't matter what you say or do. It's what people think that you are doing. And what I meant by that, I was having a conversation about parking lot pimping. I still remember this. And I was like, even if a person is if you decide to go to the club and you married, whatever, your partner don't want to go. I don't feel like going, just go out with your homeboys. Quiet as this script, you really need to be, if the club closed at 2, you really need to be heading home by 1:15, 1:30. Here in Houston, the clubs close at 2. That's why I'm using 2. I know other places, y'all clubs don't close at 5 or 6. Like in Miami, I know one of the clubs on South Beach don't close at 5. Girl, the girls don't start getting to the club until 2:30. Okay? But if the club closed at 2, you quiet as it's kept, you need to be heading home by 1:30. It don't make no sense for you to be in no parking lot pimping, because the truth of the matter is, the only people that's in the parking lot is the people that's trying to find somebody to go home with. At least that's what's in my head. You see what I'm saying? And the last thing you want to do is have somebody come back to your husband or to your wife and be like, girl, you know they said Kevin was outside after the club and it was a whole bunch of girls. And the truth of the matter is Kevin could have been minding his business. It could have been his homeboys talking to the girls, but because Kevin was there and was in the parking lot after the club, that's what people gonna say. So now your wife got to go around here and be like, girl, they say you was out in the parking lot after the club talking to some hoes. And then you got to be like, no, that's not what it was. Like that was James and them. I was just sitting there waiting for them to go. But it doesn't matter because the word around town is Kevin was outside in the parking lot talking to some hoes. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? So I just think we have to get to a point where it's kind of like, girl, stop embarrassing your partners. Stop embarrassing people, right? And if, like I say, with Sierra and Russell, most of the time, if not all of the time, Russell be holding the camera. So whenever y'all try to get on Sierra, oh, she twerking and she married, girl. First of all, who cares? Second of all, girl, Russell, girl, be holding the camera and recording her sometimes. So, girl, what is the like? You don't have nothing to say. Shout out to Kirsten, girl. I don't know what they gonna do, girl. Is this enough to break up a marriage? No, I wouldn't say that. She should get a divorce. I don't know what go. Let me say something. I don't know what goes on in their household. This could be the straw that broke the camel's back. As far as we know, Chance could be around there, girl, being disrespectful. And this was like, girl, okay, I done told you, stop disrespecting me and stop making me feel disrespected. So that could be it. I don't know. But if this is like a one time thing, I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't say, girl, just get a divorce. But I would have a serious conversation. Don't disrespect me. Like, don't do something to me that you would not want done to you. If you don't want to see a video of me out there half naked, throwing it back in a circle, then I don't need to see a video of you catching somebody's ass while they throw it back in a circle. It's just it's like it really is 1 + 1 = 2. And if you're going to do that, then I need to be able to say, girl, I know he was throwing it back in a circle because I was one who was holding the video camera. It was his birthday. I told him go out there have a good time. He just dancing. It didn't bother me. Now after they finished dancing, girl, we went home. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, child, let's move on. Y'all know I'm kind of long-winded. Be around you. Y'all know what song still slaps to this very day, girl? What is wrong with something going on with my internet? I'm about to call Xfinity. I was so upset the other day because I'm uploading the video and it took like 30 minutes for the video to upload. And I'm like, girl, if they reduce, I'm going to call Xfinity because I'm tired of playing with them. Flo Rida's attempt to appear via Zoom for child support hearing denied by judge. So Flo Rida did not physically attend his hearing in New York City Family Court on Tuesday, instead electing to participate via Zoom. Previously, Flo Rida was ordered to pay for his son's medical bills, schooling, and child support. The rapper and his ex-girlfriend, Alexis Adams, share a 6-year-old son. Flo Rida secured an $82.5 million verdict against the energy drink manufacturer Celsius. Alexis filed a case demanding Flo Rida deposit $400,000 in a bank account for their special needs child. According to TMZ, Zohar is autistic and suffers from hydrocephalus, a rare illness. On March the 4th, Zohar fell 5 stories from his mother's residence in New Jersey. Alexis had the opportunity to present her case to the judge. According to a source, the court did not allow Flo Rida to testify virtually. Alexis claims that Flo still hasn't met Zohar and that his social media posts about their son receiving the best medical care following the near-death incident are an attempt to save face. The judge has yet to rule on Alexis' petition. I've said this, so I'm really about to regurgitate a lot of the stuff I said before. I think Flo Rida, he ain't back, and I fully do believe this. I believe that if you are someone who is especially rich, this man just won an $82.5 million settlement. Now, I know after he probably had to pay his lawyers and all the fees, whatever, girl, he didn't walk away with 82.5, but I'm sure he still walked away with a good chunk. There really is no reason for Flo Rida's son to be living in an apartment complex where he was in a position where he could fall 5 stories. The least a man could do when you know you are not an active participant in your child's life and you have the coin is to make sure that the person, which is your baby mama, who is raising your child, at least put them in a comfortable position. That's like the least you could do. All Flo Rida had to do was say, you know what? But see, this is the thing. A lot of men don't want to just outright say, I know I'm an ain't shit nigga. I know I'm an ain't shit nigga. So they'll swear up and down, oh, I try to do the best I can do, or I'm busy, I'm trying to work. No, you just an ain't shit nigga. But you don't want to say that because you know how it sounds. The Flo Rida should have at least at a minimum purchased his baby mama, yes, and his son a town. My nose itches. Ooh, girl. At least purchase his son and his baby mama a cute townhouse somewhere in New Jersey. 700,000, 800,000, whatever. Buy them a cute townhouse in a decent part of town. Make sure that the house is decent enough and it accommodates your child and his needs. Make sure, you know what? I know I ain't there, so let me just make sure that you and my son are good. I don't see what the big deal is. I really honestly don't. You ain't doing nothing else. You're not waking up in the morning getting your son ready for school. You're not waking up in the middle of the night when your son is probably crying. You're not helping your son with schoolwork. You're not feeding your son. You're not cooking for your son. You're not taking your son to the movies. You're not taking your son to the zoo. You're not taking your son to get his hair cut. You're not doing shit. So the least you could do is provide money to your baby mama so that she and the baby can live a decent life. Okay, they not gonna live beside Beyonce and Jay-Z or Kim Kardashian or Mariah Carey or Nicki Minaj. Okay, she not gonna live this millionaire lifestyle. But you could at least look out a little bit financially. Like, you ain't doing the nails. I think Flo Rida, I think people like Flo Rida are absolute trash. I really do. I really, really do. You rich as hell. I think he's trash. Anyways, let's move on. I'm about to get worked up. Because speaking of Miami Beach's Story nightclub closes its doors following 2 a.m. alcohol ban. I'm going to do some more research on this too, because I need to know before I get down to Miami. I plan on going to Miami in a few months. You know, I ain't been in Miami. You know, Miami was my old stomping grounds. Girl, I ain't been in Miami in a minute, girl. Story, one of Miami's most popular nightclubs, has closed its doors after the city implemented a 2 a.m. alcohol curfew. Like I said, here in Houston, girl, the bars, clubs close at 2. I mean, you have like after I don't really hear about a lot of after hours here in Houston. But for the most part, the clubs and bars close at 2. In Texas, period. Okay. The attorneys they're supposed to close at 2. The attorneys for the club or an illegal battle with Miami Beach over the curfew, which greatly impacts the nightlife in the area. A judge previously allowed a 30-day stay, which expired last week. Now clubs and bars may longer serve alcohol after 2 a.m. Um, Attorney John Crabtree called out the city for such a move. Story will remain closed during the appeal process. It's an uphill battle for the venue. Another ruling likely won't arrive for several months. The city has ruled that any business that held a license to serve alcohol until 5 a.m. must now stop 3 hours earlier. The only exception is for venues with an occupancy of 100 people or fewer. 100 or fewer people. Those venues may continue offering liquor until the morning. During the court battle, Story's team pointed out that the club brings in nearly 88%. Listen to this. Story's team pointed out that the club brings in nearly 88% of its alcohol revenue between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. The temporary stay allowed the club to stay in business briefly, but it looks like their time is up. This week, the club sat shuttered. A reopening date unknown. On Google, Story is listed as temporarily closed. As for employees, Story is relocating them to other clubs they're affiliated with. I'm gonna say this much. I remember when I really first started going to Miami. Girl, I did not. It's a club called Twist. It's a gay club in South Beach, and I didn't know they stayed open to 5. Cause I'm used to, girl, like I said, here in Texas, honey, they shut down. We shut down at 2, and I was like, girl, they really stay open to 5. Like, girl, in real life, girl, I was thinking, girl, girl, not to sound judgy, but I'm judging. Girl, who be at? Do y'all really? I was like, girl, do y'all really be out at 4 o'clock in the morning drinking? You know what I'm saying? They do. I remember one time I went to Miami, and I was tired. I still remember, girl. I don't even remember falling asleep. I just remember waking up in the bed. I had made it to the hotel room, and no, I think I would have got something to eat, and then I came back, and I just remember just falling asleep. Then I woke up. It was probably around 1 in the morning. And I was like, ooh. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, ooh, girl, I feel like going out. And I was like, I'm going to go. I was like, ain't probably nobody out. I was like, I'm just walking around. I was actually right around the corner from Twist. By the time I got there, I took a shower and got dressed. And by the time I got there, it was probably almost 3. Girl, it was a line. Girl, I got inside. It was packed. I said, girl, I'm thinking ain't nobody gonna really be there. Girl, it was packed. So I don't know. I'm just basically telling this and based off the story. I don't know what they're gonna do because even if the people that live in Miami are used to a club closing at 5 and the clubs are still jumping at 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. Clearly that impacts business based off what I just read. I wonder how y'all come up with I don't know, it's crazy to me. It's one thing for the law to already be, girl, we close at 2. It's another thing for it to be, we close at 5 and now we have to close at 2. Like I said, girl, we've been closing at 2 here in Texas. So, and quiet as it's kept, I really think that 2 is too early. I think the clubs should stay open to at least 4 or 5. Because, girl, quiet as it's kept, I'm going to say this much. I just told a lie. They're supposed to stop serving alcohol at 2. That's what I meant. I said that all wrong earlier. They're supposed to stop serving alcohol at 2. The clubs can stay open, but they're supposed to stop serving alcohol at 2 a.m. That's what I meant. That's what I should have said. Because 2020, I remember back in the day when me and my friends used to go to the club, girl, we wouldn't get to the club until 1:30 because they stopped serving alcohol at 2. You know what I'm saying? But we already had a couple of cocktails before we left the house anyways. But you still want a couple of cocktails in your hand. So you get there at 1:30, Girl, get it, go to the bar. Girl, take you a shot or two, then get you a cocktail. You'll be good for the rest of the night. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't close until like 4. Did they close at 4 or 5? Yeah, 2020 used to stay open late. But like I said, I think it was the bars, not necessarily the clubs. But most clubs, they're probably going to close at 2 because hell, if we have to stop selling alcohol at 2 legally, if we legally have to stop serving alcohol at 2, then it's kind of like, what's the point of staying open past 2? Because we're not making no money. Yeah, they dancing and having a good time, but we can make money from the door. Okay, they're gonna charge $10 a pop, but girl, we're not really making no money because I'm sure a lot of the money comes from the alcohol sales. And then if you're a bar, especially, if you're a bar, at least that was a club. 2020 was a club. Anyways, child, I'm gone. Um, I don't know where these people at. They're supposed to be coming to pick this couch up, and I'm about to get upset because they said they were going to be here between 8 and 12. It's 11:37. Mind you, I fell asleep. I'm so happy because usually I be up like, girl, I got insomnia like a mama. I went to sleep around 3, and then I woke up. It was almost 8 o'clock this morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep. I was like, girl, let me just wake up. I got enough sleep. Um, and I've been up since like 8. And plus, in my head, I was like, I knew those people were coming. They were gonna come anywhere between 8 and 12 to come get this couch. And like I said, it's 11:37, and they still not here. And I need to go. So they need to come on. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.